Morning world, it's about 8:30 in the morning on Sunday the 10th of February 2019. Today's likely to be quite a significant day for a large number of people. There's a couple of big reasons for this, all connected with the last 10 degrees of Aries. As I speak, Uranus is now at 29 degrees of Aries and moving forward and picking up speed, getting faster and faster in its apparent motion around the sun as viewed from the Earth. Uranus brings change. Change can be disruptive, chaotic, dramatic, sudden, unpredictable. It can yank the rug from underneath your feet. It can send everything spinning. Change can also be stimulating, innovative, original, exciting, fun and adventure with words like independence, freedom and liberty. I often use the analogy with Uranus that it's like if Uranus is suddenly coming into your chart, then I use the analogy of you being out on the seaside up to your waist in the water with the waves coming up to your chest. And you've got a little 3-foot surfboard and you're having great fun with these little waves. And then out to sea, there's a 30-metre tsunami coming in and it's got your name written all over it. And if you run, it's going to pick you up, smash you on the rocks and devastate you. And if you stand still and hang on to the rocks, then the wave is going to engulf you, suck the sand from underneath your feet and send you spinning. But if you get your surfboard and go out and meet the wave of change coming in and rise to its crest before it breaks and then surf the wave of change, you're in an excellent position to take advantage of opportunities to invigorate, re-stimulate and start your life again. And this doesn't really matter whether it's a square, trine, sextile or opposition or conjunction. Change is a necessary feature in our lives, and when these aspects come into our lives, we either take advantage of them or we don't. Uranus is now in the last degree of Aries. Depending on the position of Aries, what house the end of Aries is in your horoscope, there's been a lot of change for a lot of people over this last 7 years. But Uranus in Aries has been very much about the individual self-determination and individual human rights, the rights of the individual versus the needs of the collective. And with the Uranus-Pluto square of a few years ago now, with Pluto in Capricorn saying the transformation of structure and government, and Uranus in Aries saying individual human rights, it's been a bit of a messy time in this last few years. Now Uranus is getting ready to move into Taurus, where it will radically affect both individual and collective forms of attitudes towards assets, possessions, materials, resources, money, and value systems. But at the moment, Uranus is at the end of Aries. It's going to stay into Aries. It's going to stay in Aries for another few weeks before it moves into Taurus, where it will then stay for the next 6.5 to 7 years. So what's the big deal? Uranus at the end of Aries. It's a cycle. Uranus hits 29 Aries every 84 years, almost regular as clockwork. So what's the big deal, I hear many of you say? Well, Mars is also in Aries. Now we can see Mars very clearly with the naked eye, and we can see it when it's bright as a orangey red glow in the sky, very vivid, bigger than a star, and the ancients have always seen it as red. Mars has always been associated with aggression, warfare, violence, bravery, heroism, courage. It's got a lot to do with the blood, it's got a lot to do with surgery. And Mars is very much the way we either project and assert ourselves or we come across as confrontational and aggressive. It's the way we manage our physical energy. Whether it be in the bedroom, digging the garden, walking the dog, down the gym. Thing is, Mars is in Aries. It's been in Aries since New Year's Day, 1st of January, and now it's coming up to conjunct Uranus. Now this is going to be affecting everybody born in the last 3 or 4 days of Aries, the last 3 or 4 days of Libra, the last 3 or 4 days of Cancer and the last 3 or 4 days of Capricorn. If you're one of these people, then over this last couple of years, you've been upside down, inside out, back to front, through the hedge backwards. And now Mars is coming to conjunct Uranus over the next 3 or 4 days, between now and the 17th, 18th. And it's like a final visit to the chaos of the last few years. And there's likely to be some quite sudden and dramatic events. Mars conjunct Uranus happens every couple of years. It's not a regular cycle, but it happens on average every 2 years, and it lasts for about a week. We're in it now. But the fact that it's happening in Aries, at the end of Aries, makes this one a bit more significant than normal. Those people born at the end of Gemini, at the end of Gemini and Aquarius and Leo and Sagittarius, you should be finding that the positive changes of the last couple of years are now about to be really activated and turned from latent into potent, from lead into gold. But for anybody born in the last couple of days of your sign, regardless of which sign it is, with the possible exception of Pisces and Taurus, then at this time there's a great deal of unpredictability around. There's a high running tempo of electrical energy. Mars-Uranus, I have a Mars-Uranus conjunction in my chart. It gives a kind of electrical energy that doesn't do boring. There's always looking for the unconventional, the idiosyncratic, the unusual, the futuristic. These are the people who get a lot of static electric shocks. And they should carry and wear a piece of amber because that cancels half of it. Certainly I expect some rather shocking, disruptive, chaotic and dramatic news in the next couple of days, next few days. But also that's going to wake us up and say, come on, what are we doing? We need to look at things in a different way. Mars will move into Taurus in less than a week. In about 6 days, 5-6 days time. And that's a very different ball game to Mars in Aries. And the reason I'm focusing on all this today is because right now the moon is also in Aries. It's now at about 20 degrees of Aries. Uranus is at 29, Mars is at 27. And later today, around about, I'm guessing here, but around about 10 p.m, 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. UK time, the moon in the sky will conjunct Mars. And shortly after that, about 4 hours after that, 3 hours after that, it will conjunct Uranus. So I do expect a lot of stimulating, unexpected, unpredictable developments in the next 24 hours, both personally and globally. And if you're one of these people who the Uranus effect of the last couple of years has hit, then use this next couple of days, and particularly this next 4 or 5 days, to kind of clear up the last couple of years. If it's worked for you, if this last couple of years has been great and stimulating and fun and adventurous, then take advantage of this and capitalise on it and cap it off. And if this last couple of years has had more than its fair share of disruption, unpredictability and chaos, then know that where you are now is a chance to lance the boil and bring it to a permanent close, even if it means taking radical decisions or actions. There's a conjunction over the next 24 hours of the Moon, Mars and Uranus in Aries, at the end of Aries. And this is the last time something like this is going to happen for 84 years. Worth taking advantage of, I think. Very few of us will see this again. So look at the area of 27, 28, 29 degrees of Aries in your personal horoscope and take chances. Not risks, but take chances, because you never know. It might work. Catch you later, world. Bye.